Hello, Hornet Readers. This is Miss Harrison to talk today about The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. This is definitely an upper school novel. Eighth grade could read it, maybe even some seventh graders. Although there's some violence in it that is a little bit hard to stomach, but that's kind of the nature of the story. I adore this cover. I love this cover so much. I didn't even realize how much I love this cover until I finished the book, and then I really love the cover. So make sure if you read it, you take a second glance at the cover when you're done. So The Nickel Boys is based on a true place called the Dozier Academy, which was in Florida, a place where boys were sent if they got in trouble with the law, or if they were orphans, or they had no family. It was a place that they were sent. And on the surface, it seemed to be kind of okay. It was during a time of segregation, so the white and the black kids were segregated from each other. But as things came out in the press many, many years later, it turns out that it was really a horrifying place where a lot of damage was done to a lot of boys. They were abused, they were beaten, they were sexually abused. And as they found out later, some of them were even killed and buried on the property there at the academy. So the Nickel Boys is set in that world, and our main character, Elwood, ends up there kind of on a fluke for a decision that he makes that really at the time is not even that bad of a decision. He didn't really do anything wrong. He hitchhiked, which during the time that he hitchhiked was sort of a thing that people did, and he picked the wrong car, and it turned out that the person who was driving the car had stolen the car, and so Elwood was taken and arrested with this man. And because of that, he was sent to the Nickel Academy. Before that, he was a great kid. He had high aspirations. He loved to listen to Martin Luther King Jr. speeches. He wanted to live like Martin Luther King Jr. And then he ended up in this place, which kind of shattered all of his plans and all of the plans his grandmother had for him as well. Very smart kid, was going to go to college, all these things. So we get the story of him and his journey and the things that he endures at the place and the ways that he tries to make a difference and change the place. We also hear the stories of other kids, and the book does jump in time a little bit, so we do get to find out some of the stories of the people. We see them when they're boys at the academy, and we see what has happened to them as they've gotten older. And of course, once you've been to a place like this, things tend to kind of not go so well for you because you're sort of broken and damaged. And that's what we find out with a lot of the men who had been at this academy. The ending is brilliant. I mean, just magnificent. I thought it was so smart, so well done. I got to tell you, the thing about Colson Whitehead is he's so easy to read. His books have such depth and complexities, and they're about such hard topics and things that you really need to think about. And he gets all the nuances of those things and all the complexities of those things in it. And it's hard, and you're reading it, and you're having to process and deal with things that are hard. But reading his books, it's almost effortless. The story flows so beautifully. His writing is truly amazing. So if you were looking for a book that's going to make you think, that's going to make you rethink some things that you might have already known, that is going to make you sad but also give you some hope, and that you are going to enjoy every word, every page of. Honestly, I mean, feel like I could read this 15 times, and every time I would enjoy the experience of reading it. Then you ought to check out Colson Whitehead's The Nickel Boys at our library.